All right. Welcome back, Adrian Yanez. It's been a hot minute since you've been on the show. I mean, a couple months, but hey, it feels like forever for this guy right here. You're coming off a huge win over at UFC Fight Night 22. You walked away with the third round knockout, and literally, it was a walk off. I mean, this time you got the real walk off. You didn't have a referee, grabbing you and yanking you. So let's just start there, right? A third round knockout in a fight that was relatively competitive until you started feeling it, right? Once you started feeling it, you looked like you were warmed up. Like that was it. He wasn't able to do much. Talk to me about the fight, your performance, and how you're feeling about this KO.
Oh yeah, man. It was a really good performance, man. In that first round, I was still trying to gauge my distance. I was trying to figure out what exactly he was doing. He was doing a little bit more switching than I seen him do in other fights. I think he was trying to confuse me a little bit more, but uh, honestly, I was like really more being cautious and being really trying to be a little bit more strategic and methodical in my approach walking him down because I knew he wanted to take a shot. I know he wanted to put me on my back. Just the thing was, I was going to make it as difficult as I could before he can get there. So that first round, I was a little bit just like measuring. I was really just measuring him. And anytime he would throw, I wanted to answer back with something. It's exactly what was in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna answer back every single time he throws something. I'm just not gonna let him dictate. I think me controlling the center, kind of spoke volumes. Especially like how you were saying, like he wanted me to walk him down so he could try to take me down. So I obliged him in that and not one takedown. So hey, it's cool for me. But once I got my rhythm, I just knew I was like, all right, cool. It's just all about timing. Something's gonna open it up, and whenever it does open up, I'm taking full advantage of it. In the second round, I thought I had it, but uh, I thought I had him. There was a point where like I heard his corner called for another shot, and I immediately jumped up for a flying knee, and it almost landed. It was like an inch or two off, man. It was an inch or two off. But man, that would have been. I would have loved that knockout instead. But it was pretty cool the way it happened. Uh, Controlled it, and then next, in that third round, I knew he was going to get more aggressive, just because I know he was down 2 rounds. So I just kept the same game plan, and also too, like by that time, I knew what he was gonna. I know what combinations he was gonna throw. So I baited him into I baited him into throwing shots, and I countered right off of it, and it worked perfectly in my favor, and I got the walk off.
The walk off, indeed, pretty gangster, pretty gangster. It brings to mind a lot of the comparisons of you and Masvidal for the looks and the fighting style. You guys move a lot of the same ways while you guys are in the cage. So I could see a lot of similarity. You know what I mean? So I can guess that's where the whole Masvidal comparison comes from. How does that make you feel? I don't know if we've touched on this before, but it seems that every time you fight, the comparisons just come piling up.
Man, it's cool. It's cool, but at the same time, I'm still my own person, man. I'm Giannis at the end of the day. It is pretty cool, because I do love watching Masvidal fight. Like he's one of those guys that anytime he's fighting, I'm tuning in. I'm never gonna miss a fight just because I love the way he fights. He's a really good counterpuncher. He's really good offensively as well. He's slick defensively. A lot of people don't really touch on that, but he's really slick defensively. And I just love watching him fight. I think it's very exciting. I think a lot of his past fights really kind of don't reflect the type of fighter he is. He's had a lot of close split decision losses, but dude, he's top of the food chain, and I really love watching him fight. So I don't mind it because I'm gonna be one of those guys that everybody's gonna want to keep on watching. Everybody's gonna want to tune in to watch him fight. So to me, it's great comparisons. So I don't mind it at all. But also, there's gonna be a point in time where I'm just like, hey, no, it's just Giannis.
Okay, now I've been watching the timeline. It's been very, very pro Giannis. Okay, very pro Yanez. And a couple questions that have come up. And of course, me and Richie, based out of Texas, once this interview was a lock, he starts, hey, man, ask this question. And all the questions that he had lined up, I was already prepared to ask. So I'll put it as it was a working effort between both of us. Okay. Because, he came to me with questions. So I want to give the motherfucker some credit. I think he deserves it. He wants to know, okay, well, I mean, everybody wants to know, where does all this patience while you're fighting, when you're in the pocket, while you're, fainting and, getting into these firefights, where does all this patience come from?
Man, it's honestly just one of those things that it's just ring time, cage time. And plus, like, I spar with like high level fighters. They're just not at the level I'm at right now. Like, they are UFC level ready. It's just the fact that they are like they're still pretty young in their fighting career. Like Leomano Martinez, he's a really good fighter. He's a really, really good fighter. He got onto the Contender Series. He had a slip up. It was like a wild exchange in the ground game, and he got caught in a triangle, got put to sleep. But it's honestly, that doesn't show the fighter that he is. He's much more than that. Like, he's legitimately a high level striker, and he's legitimately like a high level grappler as well. You know, and Jacob Silva, one of those guys too. He goes out there and he throws heavy leather. Heavy leather. He doesn't care who you are. He's gonna try to knock you out every single time he steps in there. So, like, you gotta be patient. You gotta have your vision, especially sparring those two guys. And then there's another guy, another one of my sparring partners, Cameron Smotherman. He just turned pro. He fought for a Fury like a couple weeks ago. So, like, that guy's a heavy level, like a high level striker. It's just he just turned pro too. So, like, I don't like, it's not like I'm going out there and sparring like uh George Petrosian or anything like that. But I do have guys who are high level in striking, especially in MMA striking. So, like, I get the patience from that because since I'm sparring them, and we do a lot of drilling, it's not really too much of a it's I don't know, man. But once I get in there too, it's different. It's different because now I know that I've already seen it all during training camp. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's more of like that first minute is me just reading them, and then after that, it like I just start implementing my game plan.
You see, it's funny too, because when people say, reading their opponent, I'm like, I fucking hate reading. Is that why I was no good? Because I don't like reading? Anyway, shitty joke aside, another question that we were talking about was how has life been, just personally and career-wise, since you were able to quit the job and just do MMA full time?
Man, it's been the biggest change for me actually, because, man, I had to worry about so many things whenever I was working, like working and then having a part time being a fighter. It was it was hard. It was stress heavy. Like, my time was literally gone. I had like no time to do anything whatsoever. So for me, like, being able to concentrate solely on fighting, it was it was amazing. Like, I had no stress. Like, I didn't have to worry about waking up in the morning and like figuring out what time I'm gonna get off. Should I ask for 30 minutes off of my vacation just so I can go like to get to train on time? So for me, it's been wonderful. Like, it's been absolutely wonderful just because, like, the stress level of like me like actually getting to show up to train is like, man, I can leave at a good time, be there at a good time, get ready, get warmed up, making sure not just going in to train cold turkey and getting injured and all that stuff. So it's been wonderful. Like, and then just being able to focus, being able to be flexible be flexible with my training schedule and be like, okay, I can run at this time, or I can run at this time. This day I can focus more on rehab. resting, making sure I get the right amount of rest. So it's been wonderful for me.
Okay. And going into this fight, we obviously know that Gustavo, he's a very, very good grappler, right? So what was the game plan coming in?
Well, pretty much it's almost the same game plan I have every single fight. Just keep walking people down because, anyways, like in my past like fights, nobody's gonna want to stand up and trade with me. Nobody's gonna want to box with me. No one's gonna want to strike with me. So I have the same game plan every single time. Is that I'm gonna sprawl. I know they're gonna take a shot, so I'm gonna have to sprawl every single time. And that's the way that, like to me, I kind of like was like my whole pro career is just that. Is me just being a striker, sprawling, standing up and striking with these guys. So to me, it's just more of the same. It's like there's no difference in preparation. Even though I do have my black belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm just not going to show it off right now. I'd rather keep knocking people out. You know, my last two fights, I got performance bonuses, and you know, I did it by knockouts, not by submission. So I want to keep that up. I want to get more. Now, you know, it's like I'm like that. I'm like that kid. I want more. I want more.
Okay, and I know you've answered this on my show before, but I saw it going through the timeline, and you hadn't answered it yet. But at MMA underscore Colt, they put out a tweet asking they wonder who your favorite fighter is
Wonder who's my favorite fighter? Huh?
or favorite fighter to watch.
Favorite fighter to watch. I have. It's not necessarily even one because most of my favorite fighters are kind of retired. You know, I liked Anderson Silva. I like Cain Velasquez. You know, George St. Pierre. Those guys. You know, because I kind of grew up on those guys. So those are my favorite fighters for sure. Um, probably right now. Probably right now, I do love watching Israel Adesanya, just because of the way he strikes, his fluidity and everything. Like I marvel at his striking and everything. It's really nice. Uh, Another guy, Jorge Masvidal, I do like watching him fight. Like he's like legitimately like top five active fighters. He's definitely one of the five. And then Dustin Poirier, also another one of those guys. And a guy who I'm continuously watching fight is that Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno, he's a scrapper. He's a 125er. He's a scrapper. I like watching him fight. Also, him and Brandon Royval. So I think that's a really good. Like those two guys at flyweight are really good to watch. So, and then also too, man, I got my own favorite fighters. I got Jacob Silva. Jacob Silva, he's one of my favorite fighters. Even though he's not in the UFC and all that stuff, like I deserve with everything that what he's done, man. He's one of my favorite fighters. I like being part of his team. I like being part of his camp, you know. And then like to me, like every time he goes in there, I'm like, I try to keep like try to keep my friendship away from this, and just watch as a fan. Because if I watch as a friend, my heart's pumping, my heart's racing. Uh, but if you watch Jacob's fights, man, he goes to war, and you just can't help but to love watching the guy fight.
I like watching Jacob fight. He's a scrapper for sure. His last fight didn't go his way, but that doesn't mean it was not entertaining. And most of the entertainment came from his side, you know, before the end of the fight. So 100%. And plus, Jacob is just one of those motherfuckers that you can't not like. You know what I mean? You just can't not like the guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I love that guy, man. That's why I brought him with me to Vegas, and he brought the energy. He brought the energy for me. Like I was weight cutting, my energy was low, and every single time he'd walk in the room, it was just like a ball full of energy. So I didn't. So it was just one of those things that he was a great addition to have for my fight.
Okay. And then I've noticed, right? I've noticed that we're still walking out with no nickname,
With what?
with no fighter name, no nickname.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, something will
We still
pop
trying
up.
to figure that out.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that it's just like I don't know. I don't know if I kind of want one. I do like the single name Yanez. I do like that. I do like the Yanez. I think is very nice. Like a lot of people have been asking me about it, but I I entertain it, but at the same time, like I just do like Yanez, man. I don't like my own first name, so I just like Yanez.
No, I can respect that. I can respect that. Okay, and then so you're stacking up these finishes, right? Throughout your entire career, you've been a finisher. Um, what's going to happen when fans, because it's eventually going to happen. What's going to happen when fans see you go to a decision?
Man, honestly, I've already thought about it. I don't really, it really doesn't bother me with like about fans, like because I know they're there one day and they're not the next. So to me, it's more like I just need to make sure that I'm fighting for myself and I'm not fighting for anybody else. Finishes are cool. You get more support. The more fans you get, the more money you get. So that's exactly why you want fans on your side. But also, you know, being successful and getting wins will also add more currency to your bank account. So for me, I'm really not like it doesn't bother me if like I don't get a finish and if they all turn on me. I don't care because it's more about me performing. That's all I really care about is my performance is going out there and winning. If I go out there and I have a bad performance, I'm gonna go out there and be I'm gonna go out there and be 100% true to myself, knowing that I had a bad performance. I'll go out there and tell myself I have a bad performance. I don't mind that. I don't mind saying that at all. Like I can hold myself accountable to that, and I keep myself up to a really high standard on myself. So to me, it doesn't matter, man. If I don't get a knockout, I don't get a knockout. If I get the finish, then great, man. Hopefully, another 50K bonus my way. So that's exactly what I want. Like but the fans don't really even have to worry about that because I'm gonna keep gunning for the knockouts because the extra 50K that gets bumped into your bank account, man, it's always amazing.
Now, speaking of the dough, that's two performance bonuses back to back, which has helped you quit the job so that you could focus on training full time. Okay. Now I know some of that bonus money had to have gone to the victory, so you're gonna have to explain your victory meal to me right here.
Oh man, well shoot, yesterday my victory meal was Mexican food. I had a quesadilla plate like with like 3 or 4 quesadillas on it, rice and beans. Then I had a torta, and that one to me was amazing. And then at night I ended up having Domino's pizza. Well, no, that was yesterday night. But on Sunday night we had Domino's pizza. Sunday night we had Domino's pizza, and last night we ended up having this. I had fried chicken with mashed potatoes and French fries. I went ahead and got double starch, man, just because, man, I'm not gonna be able to do this again sometime soon, especially if I'm trying to get on that May 15th card.
Okay, so let's talk about Houston. Thanks for the grub, by the way. Thanks for the grub. So let's talk about Houston. You just got some X-rays done because there's a suspension looming, right? Depending what the doctors say, which we should be cleared, right?
Oh yeah, I literally all I said was my hand was sore, like in the cage. There's he's checking my face, he's trying to see if all my orbital was good, and I was like, yeah, my hand is a little bit sore, and all that. He's like, okay, we're gonna get that checked out. I was like, but your face is okay. I was like, yeah, my face is okay. It's just my hand's a little bit sore, and I don't feel like it's broken or anything because I still have full mobility in my hand and everything. I can do all this and all that. And he's like, all right, cool. We're gonna go get it checked out. Get it checked out. It was a little bit swollen from punching him, but nothing like I've had way worse. Like I had my hand looking like a balloon and nothing was broken before. So they checked it out and they're like, all right, cool. Just to be sure, we're gonna go get X-rays this week. And I was like, all right, cool. And then today, that's whenever I see that article post like suspended. I was like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Like this is nuts. Like all right, cool, I guess. But yeah, no, like my hand's good. Like I just got an X-ray this morning, so they're just gonna send it to the doctor, and after that, everything should be fine.
I am trying to read your head. Does that say Giannis?
Oh yeah, Yanez. Yep.
That is clean as fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have them on sale at yanezmma.com. Everybody can go get you one, man.
That's clean. That's clean. I know what I'm doing after this. All right. So now with this Houston card, you got called out. I can't remember the fella's name.
Oh, Nate Maness. He called
There
me
you
out.
go.
He called me out in November. A day before my birthday, but I was already signed to fight Gustavo Lopez. Like I'd signed to fight Gustavo Lopez back in November, and man, like the fact that we had to wait so long just to even fight each other was like kind of nuts. But yeah, I got called out and I couldn't really answer the call out because I was already on contract to fight somebody else, and I even asked my manager to see what's up, and he was like, "Well, you already signed the contract, and pretty much it was a done deal, signed, sealed, and delivered that I was going to fight Gustavo." So I couldn't really answer the call out, but I really wanted that fight, just because he called me out. Like, man, like someone calls you out, you got to go out there. You got to go out there and answer it, or else you look kind of scared. And I definitely don't want to look scared. So after this fight, I definitely wanted to to extend the call out again and be like, look, uh, I'm 100% down for this fight. Not running scared. I was already signed to fight somebody else, but me and you, we can sign this fight, get it going for May 15th, and we can get going. And I think he already has a fight signed for April, so I don't think it's going to work out. I would love it for it to, but also at the same time, if I fight him, I want us to fight on a full training camp. I want no excuses whenever I beat him.
There you go. There you go. Now, my main concern here with the call out and the career trajectories is you're probably going to be, looking a little higher than Maness. You're probably the UFC is going to take advantage of this clean cut, good looking kid who's knocking everybody out. They're going to take advantage of that, and they're going to give you top billing, maybe not on the card, but of the division. You'll probably be sitting somewhere near top 20, top 15 come your next fight. If my projections are accurate, which would be really smart by the UFC, if they were to sign you with a top 15 opponent as soon as the Houston card, I mean, are you down for something like that?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely down for it. I don't mind. I don't mind the trajectory either. I know for myself, like as a fighter, I don't care. Put me in front of anybody. Put me up there. Like I'll fight every single one of those. But also, if I'm gonna be a little bit more critical about it, this fight camp was my first fight camp that I had just strictly dedicated to fighting. So I know a part of me. I know I have a lot of room to grow. So even if they push me forward and they try to give me like a top 25 guy May 15th, I'd be cool with it just because I'm a fighter. I don't care. But if I'm looking for overall growth, I think it'd be smart to kind of sit back and grow and like have more training camps underneath my belt so I can grow and develop as a fighter, be able to develop my skills and round them all out even better than they are right now. So, to me it doesn't matter. But I know for myself, I would like either fight with Nate Maness or Davy Grant. I know he had a spectacular last fight. Davy Grant did, so I think it would be a great fight for me to have too.
Yeah, Davy Grant on a win streak, but over, I think it's years. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's been an extended win streak, but now he's actually more active, and he says that he wants to fight as soon as possible, so long as his foot is cleared. And I'd be interested in that fight. But like I'm saying, I think the UFC is going to take advantage of the fact that you're marketable. You're extremely marketable, and that favors the UFC, especially going to Houston, where if they're doing a full crowd, a lot of them butts in those seats are going to be purchasers of your tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that at all. Like I said, man. Like I'm a fighter at the end of the day. There's no ducking and dodging in the UFC. You got to fight everybody, and I knew that coming in. So you got to fight anybody and everybody, and I don't mind that at all, man. And I'm 100% down to get in there and get down and throw down, man. So to me, I'm 100% down with whoever they want me to fight. I I just know right now I want that May 15th card, and if I can get somebody on that card, that to me would be amazing.
Okay, now there's been a lot of movement on this Yanez and Dr. Pepper, right? Even my buddy, a real good friend of mine, Dave Fretz, he put out an image which was just the cleanest thing I've ever seen since before I saw your hat, right? So, what is this whole Dr. Pepper Yanez movement? Explain this to me.
Man, it honestly just happened through Jacob Silva. Honestly, Jacob Silva got that thing started out of nowhere because I was like, after the fight, the lady was there. The interview lady was having me dragging me around to do all my media stuff, and I was like, all right, cool. And she was asking me, "Is there anything that you want?" And I was like, "Yes, I want a Dr. Pepper." Last time I came here, y'all didn't give me a Dr. Pepper. You know, all y'all had was Sprite, Pepsi, and Coke, and I think water. And I was like, yeah, now y'all didn't have a Dr. Pepper, so I was pretty sad about that. And she was like, oh, okay. So she took me to the media room. Right after, she got me a Dr. Pepper. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. And she went all around the Apex just to get me a Dr. Pepper. So I was super excited. And then Jacob Silva took a picture of me drinking some of the Dr. Pepper in the ride back to the hotel. And pretty much he was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this out. Like he put it out, and I just retweeted it, and it started taking off. And I was like, oh wow. And then there was a couple people that kind of cropped me into this other thing and like did a picture of it, and somebody else posted a picture with me and Dr. Pepper right next to each other. And then I see David Fress. He must have did this really really quickly because that is because that movie it's the movement started and 30 minutes later he comes up with like with a graphic design that's like looks like it took like hours to do. He did that thing so quickly and it was so good in such a short amount of time, and I was like, wow. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And after he did that, it just took off. It just took off. And then after that, I told my management team, it's like, hey, this everybody on Twitter is going nuts for this Dr. Pepper thing, and I sent them the picture that they took, and they're like, "Let's see what we can do." So hopefully, I hear something back soon. So I'm I'm 100% behind this, man, because I love Dr. Pepper.
Well, shout out to the homie Dave Fretz because that was really, really good work. That was
Oh yeah,
it was badass. Okay, there's no way around it. It was badass. And I'm really hoping that fucking Dr. Pepper pulls through. I mean, how cool would it be to be the first MMA fighter endorsed by the Pepper?
oh man, it'd be amazing, man. That would be like the highlight of my 2020, man, or 2020, 2021. I think that would be that would cap it for me. You know, if I get to fight on May 15th, then also have a Dr. Pepper sponsorship on top of that, my 2021 would be capped before it's like even half a year. I'd be like, there's nothing else I can do to top this unless I win the belt, like somehow like get the number one ranking like that, and I fight for a belt and win the belt. That's the only way that would cap it. That's the only reason that I would cap it. But man, that to me would be amazing. I would hope so. I would really hope so.
Now, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, right? But at what time did your fight end in round 3?
I think it was like 27 seconds. I think 27.
Okay. I wrote down 23. Now, I don't know if I had Dr. Pepper on the brain.
Oh,
Okay. Because they got 23 flavors and we got 23 seconds. I don't know. Dr. Pepper, you're dropping the ball here. You got to do something.
I gotta look, man. I gotta look. That'd be extra marketing. That'd be extra marketing if I get it there, man. Third round, 23 seconds, then 23 flavors. That'd be amazing.
I'm telling you, Dr. Pepper, they gotta fucking make a move here. They got to make a move.
Absolutely.
All right, dude. I am fucking super, super excited for, the way your career is going, your fighting style. It's very, very, very fan friendly. I mean, since you've arrived to the UFC via Dana White's Contender Series, even your career over with LFA, which is where we met way back in the day. Because y'all don't know this, but me and Yanez, we go way back. We go way, right? But dude, I mean, you can't ask for a better beginning, and you're just getting started.
Oh yeah, man. I know I have a lot of work to do. Like this is like I know people probably look at me saying like, man, I'm just happy to be here and like looking at all this stuff like, but I know I have a lot of work to do. Like this isn't nearly like a one and done thing for me. Like I know all the work that it took for me to get here, and I know it's going to take twice as much work to stay here and work my way up to the top. So to me, I'm cool with it. I don't mind hard work. I've always worked hard. I've had to do a day job, and then also was fighting at a high level. My Dana White Contender Series fight, I was working a full-time job and doing that, fighting at that high of a level. My UFC debut, all up until fight week, I had a job. So I didn't really even get a full training camp. So this is my first time actually having an actual training camp and uh, fighting. So, and look how good I made that look. So it's just more of me being able to be able to go out there and prove that I belong. And I know how much work I have to do and how much I have to push into it. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenges.
Well, you know, you haven't changed, even with all of this, attention and all of this, social media trains, I guess, if you want to call them, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not going to your head. You're still the same guy. A little bit harder to get a hold of. But hey, we're talking now, so it's all good. And I understand, busy guy, knocking people out in the UFC. Not everybody does that. But, like I said, I just, I want to see the success continue. And I think, just staying on the path that you're on now, maybe adding, a big 23 right here. You know what I'm saying? Get that going for Dr. Pepper. But
Oh yeah, absolutely.
um, the last thing that I got before we go on to sponsors and stuff is I think there is a couple fights out there that I hope get made before these people retire. And one of those would be, I think, a fight with you and Dominick Cruz with your footwork and his footwork. I mean, with you coming forward and him bouncing from side to side, I think that would be fucking fireworks. And TJ Dills, I mean, I know he's coming back, and I think he's going to be fighting the Sandman, which would also be another fun one, if I might add. I think any one of those three guys, so long as they're not, retired by the time we get there, because there's still work to be done, right? But I would love to see at least one of those before those guys retire.
Oh yeah, man! I would love the Dominick Cruz fight, man. I think he's a pioneer of like the bantamweight division. He's like like if it wasn't for him, I know guys like me we we wouldn't be in the UFC, So like it's the biggest props to him. So out of respect, no malice, no ill will or anything like that. It would be like out of respect. And honestly, looking at it, man, I think I knock him out, man. I really think so, man. Like I think I have the skills to do it. Like I'm very patient. I'm very like tit for tat. If he tries to do that, I think I get the better of him. He does have that herky jerky movement, but there's a lot of tape that you can watch, and I feel like I think I could break him down, and I feel like I can get the finish.
Like I said, I think before that guy retires, I would very much enjoy that fight. I think
Oh,
two of the best stand-up fighters in the bantamweight division. I think that would just be absolute fireworks.
oh yeah, that'd be fun for me. Also, another one. Even though like he got knocked out in his last fight, I would like a Frankie Edgar fight just because of the like the love and admiration I have for him. Like you're The big saying is work hard until your idols are your rivals. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So like I idolized a lot of those guys growing up. So I think it'd be great time to fight them.
I think so too, man. Well, dude, thank you for the time. I know little shows like me don't deserve it, but we appreciate every second of time that you give us. So go ahead, if you got sponsors, training partners, anyone who helped you through this camp, the first official one. Go ahead, man.
Oh man! First off, you're wearing the right shirt. HKA USA. Thank you for all the training gear, man. They supplied me with training gear from my past 3 camps, man. From the past 3 camps, they're great people. They supplied me with all my training gear. I love their training gear. They're amazing. Maybe some custom gloves that I can use for mitt work. I love them so much, man. They've done a good job on me. Uh, a big shout out to my coach Saul Solis. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this position I am today. Big thank you to Iridium Sports Agency. They manage me well. They're taking care of me. Jason House and them guys, they do a very damn good job. And then also my training partners Jacob Silva, Leomano Martinez, Cameron Smotherman, Eduardo Anaya. Got a lot more to name, but there's too much, too many. Uh, Also, big shout out to my mom, my girlfriend, and my brother. Like they helped me out so much.
All right. Well, again, thanks for the time. I hope they get you on that Houston card, man, because I know how much it would mean to you to get on that card. Not for anybody else. I mean, sure, your family would be able to attend the fight and, your friends and all that stuff. But for you, I know it's something that you really want. And after the performance you put on, so long as, everything's cool with the doctors, which it sounds like things should be, I think it would be a mistake if the UFC wasn't able to find somebody. Just fucking grab a taxi driver like Bellator does. I don't give a shit. This is, you know what I mean? I really would like to see you, live out one of your dreams.
Oh yeah, man. I'm really hoping they do. I think it would be a mistake if they didn't, man. I'm a hometown guy trying to be the guy who gets the hometown W, man. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Well, and the quick turnaround, which the UFC tends to like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Trying to be a company man as well.
Well, hopefully they get you a fight, big name or not. I just want to see you, live out the dream and compete, cash another check, maybe a 50K on top. You know what I'm saying? Like you do. But until next time, man.
Shoot, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me on.
Dude, always. This line is always open, my friend.
Shoot, I'll talk to you later, man. Thank you so much.
All right, sounds good, dude.